and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33, and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay, yay!
Welcome in. You are locked in with Joel Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And, of course, we're starting off the night with a little bit of Blue Eyed Soul, which is, I think, relevant because we are a couple of days away from Valentine's Day. We need to give those good vibes, Andy. And it's also bigger reason, Michael McDonald's birthday. Happy 74th birthday to Michael McDonald of the Doobie Brothers. Listen. Just vibing because it's Thursday. Friday Junior for me. I said my Friday Junior. It's everybody's Friday, Junior. It is my Friday, but we don't, I'm polite. So we share. All right, listen. Tonight, this is the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines. And tonight, we are getting into a former rock band icon who is very much against the idea of hip-hop being entered into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he gives some reasons. So we're going to get into that. We are also going to talk a little bit about a young lady who the fans are calling Mr. Sister. That would be Glorilla's sister, Victoria Woods. She's back again and out and back again. She's keeping the conversation going. So we're going to give you the latest updates on that. We're also going to be talking about a scheme that Todd has set up. We know Todd is divorcing from Kandi Burruss, formerly of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And Kandi has said that the judge needs to step in and make Todd step up. So we're going to get into those details. Plus, a lot more trending topics and headlines as per usual. Okay, so I like to start the night off with a couple of conversation starters. And this is actually a throwback to last night. Last night, we revealed that Sexy Red dropped a snippet, a sample of presumably new music. It is, I guess, an interpretation of Beat It. It was called Eat It. You can guess what she wants you to eat. However, and we said this last night, we were wondering if Michael Jackson's estate had actually given her approval to utilize this. I mean, I do feel like, and maybe I shouldn't, there's some songs I don't ever want to see sampled. I really don't. I don't want to hear a remake. I don't want to hear a sample. They should just be where they are. And I don't know if Beat It is one of those songs, but it feels like it is. And since the snippet leaked online, Michael Jackson's estate has come out and said that they have not given her permission to use the song. It would be an unauthorized release. So we'll see what happens if she was just playing around. But I feel like we're just 2 months away from Michael dropping in April. We already know there's going to be a part 2 to that movie. And I feel as though the estate is trying to make sure that the image and the last thoughts that we have of Michael are upheld in the status and nature that we have come accustomed to. And Sexy Red probably doesn't cover that for them. Andy?
Is Sexy Red still popping to you?
No, remember we talked about this. I kind of think Sexy Red's moment has passed.
I agree. So even if she does drop this record, I don't think it's going to have any real true impact.
But why do you think it is that her moment has passed so quickly? Because when she was red hot, what was that, like 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
On fire, right? Just simple kind of beats. And we've had a lot of female rap come out since then on various, ways of the spectrum. Some of it hot, some of it, yeah. So what happened with her?
No substance in her music. And I think even though she was hot, there was still a lot of backlash that she got. So
Indeed.
So coming into the game with all that backlash, there's no staying power in that. You know what I'm saying? She might need to talk to Glorilla. Because at first, Glorilla kind of came into the game with a lot of backlash or whatnot. But she kind of elevated her status. To me, she's one of the hottest female hip-hop rappers in the game right now, if we're talking about the new booties.
She is, which is interesting because Glow hasn't dropped a single or new music in quite some time, but she's on her power couple thing. What's the last single that Glow put out? It's been a minute.
I want to say, I can't even think of it, but I mean, she dropped her album last year, right? She had the Yeah Glow on there.
That was 2020. We're in 2026. That was 2024.
Well, it was definitely spinning all in 2025. And it was other records. I can't think. The video where she was kind of like doing the whole...
Yeah, Glow, something on Cuban. No, not that one.
There was a song, the video. I don't know the name of the song, but the video was as if she was like in a marching band or whatnot. I don't know the name of that song, but that video was kind of new, like the past maybe 3-4 months or so.
Is it? Okay.
Regardless, though, Glorilla, I felt like just kind of elevated her.
She did. Cardi came back and took her crown. Megan is just out there being cute with a new relationship and opening up Popeyes franchises. So, that tracks. And Maganiki is Maganiki. So we'll have to see. I know Monello has been getting a lot of people chatting it up. I can't name her music per se, but I feel like I've heard some bars where she dropped some stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a peek. Speaking of Miss Cardi B, we'll have a little bit of intel inside. Cardi has started off her tour, Am I the Drama, for her second album. And of course, there's already drama. But what more would we expect? Am I saying that right? Would we expect any less? I guess that's the better way to say it, from Cardi than to bring a little drama. She popped off and left a rebound dude alone. I mean, I guess rebound dudes can be baby daddies too. But, she's off on her tour and he's at home. I'm sure he has a lot of things to keep him occupied. He does have 3 newborn children, so we'll see what happens. When we come forward, we're going to get into the rock star who says, I need you urbanites to stay up out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's basically what he said. We'll get into his exact verbiage, but that's what he said. All of that and more when we come forward. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did I have to find this photograph? I thought I had forgot the past. Now I'm slipping fast. Oh, back down memory lane. I feel the happiness. I feel the here am I, back down memory lane. I'm in the sunshine.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We got to laugh the pain away.
Hey, KBLA delegation, happy Black History Month. Around here, we celebrate our culture, our community, and our contributions daily. But this year, as we observe the 100th anniversary of Black History Month celebrations, we're excited about our annual KBLA Talk 1580 Black History Month Luncheon, honoring comedy greats. On Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum in downtown LA, we're toasting D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Munell, Dion Cole, and Martin Lawrence with a surprise guest appearance. A limited number of individual tickets for the luncheon remain, so now would be a good time to head to KBLA1580.com to secure one for yourself. That's KBLA1580.com. A little laughter goes a long way, especially in times like these. So come, join us for our annual KBLA Talk 1580 Black History Month Luncheon, Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum. Again, tickets are available right now at KBLA1580.com.
Well, I hang around my boy, he been married for 6 years. Videotaping his wedding day, never watched it. Now and every day he watch it every day, but he watch it in reverse. Because he said he loves seeing himself take that ring back off of that finger. Walking back down that aisle, just waving at her ugly mother down the church. Getting back in the limo, back at the bachelor party. Look how happy I was.
KBLA Talk 1580 thanks LA City Council members Curran D. Price Jr. and Heather Hutt for being the presenting sponsors at this year's Black History Month Luncheon. Honoring excellence, resilience, and achievement, we're KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Alert, alert, alert. Beyonce's popped up on the gram with the new hairstyle. She's living the bob life. I have to let you know these things because they're very important things. And right now, everyone is, truly excited when we see Beyonce switch it up a little bit. And really, power bobs are in effect. All the girlies are rocking their bobs. I am even rocking a long bob on occasion. Yes, that's what it's giving. It's just grown out, right? So I got to let you guys know of these things. Andy?
384,000 likes
in 34 minutes, right?
34 minutes. Interesting.
That's why I said it was an emergency. I read the tea leaves. I could see it coming. 30. That is what, like 10,000 likes a minute or something like that? Something crazy. I'm really not as bad at math as it may seem in this moment because I really don't know. In 34 minutes, I think so. 10,000 times. Yeah, it's around there. I don't know. But Beyonce got a bob, y'all. And it's a short, sturdy one where you can activate it. Like, what's the Ice Cube song? You could do it, put your back into it. And you know how it stutters at the beginning? That's you activating your bob. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
12,800.
12,000. Okay, so 10,000. I wasn't too off. I was close. All right. Okay, so listen. So many things to talk about on this Friday, Junior. You know that in LA right now, we are getting ready for another hot, and I'm not talking about the heat, I'm talking about the outsideness weekend as far as NBA All-Star taking place. And there's so many events going around. I mentioned that there is an event open to everyone at Crenshaw High being sponsored by Nike tomorrow night. They are showing the documentary on the life of Coach George Raveling, who was big in USA basketball, coached at USC, several other things, obviously, with Nike. That will be taking place tomorrow. There are showcases for the Mamba League, which is Kobe's youth league that was started. There's also small business, Black-owned businesses that will be showcased in the marketplace that is happening there. Jordan Brand has a similar pop-up situation in Inglewood, although I'm not as well versed as to what is happening day to day as far as the programming with that one, but you can check in with that. And there's, I believe, various events and activations happening in downtown LA. You can head over to the convention center if you want the NBA All-Star experience. I think Ludacris is performing. I believe at the Forum there's tomorrow the celebrity game, and then there's the Rising Stars, which used to be called the Rookie Sophomore game, and then went to the World USA game, and I don't know what it's called right now, but you could check out those early players and get a taste, right? Because it's NBA All-Star, and we should be around. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel like I've been keeping up with the teams this season. I feel really, really unclear on who the top draws are in the league. I'm talking about the young guns, the up-and-comers. Like, you know, we obviously know your Stephs and your LeBrons and your KDs, but they are on the backside of their career. I have not been keeping up, and so I have no idea who's going to be in this All-Star game.
Well, Wemby's doing his thing.
I mean, yeah, Wemby. Wemby's an alien, though. So here's my thing. When you watch Wemby play, right, because he's so long. Obviously, they just beat the brakes off the Lakers the other night.
We didn't have our full squad, though.
I don't think our heart is in it. Didn't LeBron say after that game that he didn't think this was a championship team?
Man, we were doing good before you came and started playing LeBron. So, I mean, I really don't know what happened. Ever since LeBron came back, the Lakers have been playing up and down. We're still in the playoff mix, though, regardless, though. I don't think anybody would want to see us in the playoffs.
I mean, no. We could do our thing, but I don't know who's there. And then I know for the trades, people are saying that our team looks decidedly more Midwestern now. Is that true?
Well, you know, they're trying to push the fellas out, you know what I mean?
The bros?
They're trying to push the bros out. But it's so funny that you even bring that up, because somebody had a great idea for the All-Star game.
What was that?
I don't know if it came from Gary Owen or Nick Wright. You see the ascension of Austin Reeves, Peyton Pritchard in Boston. There's a guy named Con Knipple who plays for the Charlotte Hornets. White boy. White boys are Cooper Flag. How can I forget?
Right.
2027 All-Star game. Blacks versus the whites.
We cannot do that.
Let me tell you something. That will be top-tier television.
Ooh.
That would be, forget USA versus the world. Blacks versus the whites. I'm just saying. Think about it.
We cannot do that. We cannot have that happening.
Why not? With this administration that we got going on?
That's why we can't have it. Who knows what that could lead into.
Maccas versus the Wokes.
Man, it's something else.
That'd be lit. That'd be probably bigger than the Olympics.
I don't want to see it. I do not want to participate in any foolishness like that. I feel like.
I mean, think about it though. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson helped bring the league back.
Yeah, but
whether
we didn't
people wanted to say it or not.
Right, but we didn't implicitly. That's my thing though. If we implicitly call it out like, "Hey, we're doing blacks versus white," everybody's gonna be mad. Everybody's gonna be mad, and Maurice Guy says shirts versus skins.
I'm with that.
Listen. Y'all got a lot of ideas that ain't gonna work. I'm just playing. I mean, here's the thing, right? If we were to put a title on it like that, blacks versus white, it would mean so much more than just a basketball game for many people. Might incite violence.
I mean, low key, I feel like this edition with the whole world versus USA is very indicative of what's going on in the world now.
That is true. People are kind of upset about
you know what I'm saying?
the number of foreign players. Have we had an American-born MVP in the past few years?
No. The last one was probably James Harden, if I'm not mistaken. Ever since that, it's been Embiid, Jokic, Shea. And it's funny because a reporter had asked Kevin Durant about, you know, the all-star play or whatnot, and Kevin Durant low-key kind of took offense to it. He was like, yo, y'all don't be asking Jokic and Luka about competition or competitive play when it's the all-star game, because when it's the all-star game, they over there sitting on their butts. So y'all over here asking me, y'all need to go ahead and ask them. And what's funny is, you know, you got a team of world players coming together, so will they play competitively? Who knows?
I think they will. We'll see. All right, listen, you know how this goes down. If at any point you want to get into this conversation, I know we've talked so much. 800-920-1580. You can hit us up on social media. KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. I'll let your girl say hi. Download the app or get in with the YouTube chat. Shout out to the VIPs. They are chatting. It's a lot of conversation already going on in there. Morris Phillip, I have no idea what you're looking at. As far as my fingernails, there's nothing. They're actually not painted at all. But shout out to you for keeping a close eye, a close watch. Okay, listen. We also talked about Ja Rule and Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder getting into it on the plane the other day, right? And initially, I thought Yayo and Murder were the instigators, right? And while they may have picked at Ja was the one turning it up, right? But I can't blame him. I'm not sitting in front of my enemies for a 6-hour flight and you're right behind me. You know what I'm saying? You end up with popcorn and peanuts in your hair and stuff like that, kicking the back of your chair. I'm not doing it. But Ja Rule has since apologized, right? He apologized to his family and others for getting out of character following the incident. He said, "I'm not proud of my behavior. It's goofy to me. I'm a grown man about to be a proud grandfather, and I wish that video of me wasn't out there either. I don't like people taking me out of my character. So for that, I apologize to my wife, family, fans, business, and investment partners. I want people to know at the end of the day, I'm still a man and I'm going to stand my ground. I don't start trouble." So, I mean, you kind of just have to be at peace with that and let it go, because on one hand you understand, but you also recognize, Ja, you're a 50-year-old grandfather. Like, you could have handled that completely different. Everybody could have, but I guess this beef is forever, like Cardi B says. So, you know, we'll let it have. We'll let it ride. Oh, okay. So speaking of Cardi B and beef being forever, right? Cardi has started her Am I the Drama tour. I mentioned that. And some of the fans are looking at her, you know, the little videos that are popping out and wondering if all of the mental drama and stuff, I guess for lack of a better term, that has dotted Cardi's life for the past year and a half. We're talking Offset, the divorce, her new relationship, all the new babies, mamas, and whatever else is going on that caused her to say good luck to Diggs without very much emotion and unfollow. Might it have had a toll on her rehearsal time? Because Cardi took the stage and fans weren't feeling too impressive. They didn't feel like it was giving much. But there is one moment that had people buzzing, right? Cardi told her fans, listen, if ICE is in the building, we gonna jump them. I can't let ICE mess with my fans. Well, you know that this government regime is out of pocket, out of line, and habitual line steppers. So they saw that Cardi was trending, and there was a video of her saying this. They decided to retweet it, and their statement was, yeah, just as long as you don't drug and rob any of our agents. Now, Cardi said this about allegedly drugging her customers, her clients, years ago, but it still comes up. We're not okay, people. Our government should not be making light of that type of stuff, even the representatives on social media. And my next question is, government officials are watching Love and Hip Hop? It's concerning. It all is. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson says he's sticking to the promises he made before taking office.
Why are you mad at me for doing what the people of Chicago elected me to do?
Speaking to the Chicago City Club, Johnson pointed to falling crime rates and called last summer the city's safest in 60 years. Senator Cory Booker says he will oppose funding for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security unless Democrats' reform demands are met. Booker, who is black, called DHS reckless and out of control, citing recent deadly federal enforcement actions in Minneapolis. Senate Democrats have already rejected a GOP proposal to keep the agency funded ahead of the shutdown deadline. And Viola Davis will receive the Chairman's Award at this year's NAACP Image Awards. The honor recognizes those who use their platform to drive meaningful change. Davis has championed efforts to end childhood hunger and promote social justice. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
A crash in Commerce on the 710 southbound before Washington. 2 middle lanes are blocked. The drive is crawling away from Floral Drive. A stall in Hollywood. 101 northbound before Highland. Middle lanes blocked here. That's a tough one getting away from Vermont. I'm also looking at some slow traffic. We're on the 5 southbound out of Burbank leaving Olive. Delays and stretches all the way to the 605. Anaheim East 91 loading up at Kramer Glassell all the way to Green River. And that 241 toll roads loading up for almost a mile before the Windy Ridge Toll Plaza to the 91.
Now is the time to save on an award-winning Nissan at the Nissan Now sales event, featuring the Rogue, Pathfinder, Frontier, and more. Don't wait. These offers are going fast. Shop your Southern California Nissan dealers and NissanUSA.com today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The UCLA women's basketball team, ranked number 2 in the country, continues to be a dominant force this season. The Bruins extended their winning streak to 18 games after their 23-point win Wednesday night at Michigan State. The Bruins are 24-1, 14-0 in the Big Ten. They have 9 wins over top 25 opponents. Major props to the NBA for covering all expenses for the 2 schools in town this week for the HBCU Classic. The men's basketball teams at Hampton University and North Carolina A&T meet up Friday night at the Forum in Inglewood. In addition to the players and coaches, the NBA covered air travel, hotel, and in-town transportation costs for the marching bands, cheerleaders, and support staff at both schools. Hampton and North Carolina A&T will each receive a $100,000 donation from the NBA for agreeing to play in the HBCU Classic. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Check it out. After nearly 40 years of conversations with presidents, poets, and cultural icons, I have learned that the difference between a good conversation and an unforgettable one is not what you say, it is how you listen. Most people listen to respond. I learned to listen to learn and follow. When you master this, something remarkable happens. People just open up. They leave the conversation feeling truly heard, and they never forget you. Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, and for the first time in my life, I'm teaching everything I have learned. The Art of Conversation, a 4-week masterclass for podcasters, leaders, and professionals who understand that the ability to connect is their greatest competitive advantage. Our founding cohort starts Monday, February the 16th, and only a limited number of seats remain. Enroll right now at TavisTalks.com. That's TavisTalks.com.
Yeah, this is all good.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I got so many felonies, I might can't never go to Canada. But Drake said he gon' put some screens, so let me check my calendar. I just popped me one of them whatchamacallits and it boosted my stamina. Now I'm on the banister, guess I just East Atlanta. And I already dropped Tarantula. Challenger, me ain't got no manners, bruh. What's the manners? I keep throwing rubber bandits up. Pull your panties up, cause you like a granny. You're just an amateur. This petite Philippe gon' make this cricket. Just try throw the book at me. I look like $500,000 worth of. She look at me, but you ain't gotta with me, my. But you stuck with me. But how you call the cops on me, my? You grew up with me.
I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk.
but I'm both right now. Got me talking about my life. I don't usually do this unless I'm drunk, but I'm both right now.
Yeah,
I don't usually do this unless I'm
Welcome
drunk,
back in. You're locked
but
in
I'm
with
both
Jill
right
Munroe
now.
on KBLA Talk 1580. I was a little
Do this
early,
unless
but
I'm drunk,
got it. Here it
but
comes.
I'm both right now. Yeah, I'm both. Yeah, I had a drink.
Happy birthday, young thug.
Yeah, you think I need you, but I
Who?
don't.
Boosie?
Just left out Dubai.
Oh, Gucci Man. Am I thinking young thug? I'm off today. It's okay. Wow, Gucci's an Aquarius? I didn't know.
What's that supposed to mean?
So Aquarius is an air sign. Yeah. So, you know, they're intellectual, things like that, a little aloof. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would have thought Gucci was, but shout out to Gucci. Happy birthday, Gucci. What is it? Like, is Gucci 50 yet? No, right? Like 45?
46.
46. Okay. All right. Hip hop is getting old, man. I mean, not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, but wow.
It is. And that's why I feel like we're in a weird place when it comes to hip hop, low key.
We really are, because if you think about like some of the, I saw like a TikTok video, and a guy was like, the unks are running hip hop.
They are, though.
And I was like, gee, he's kind of right.
What's crazy is J. Cole, I believe, is 41.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, he represents the new generation.
The new mid generation. I feel like J. Cole's been around.
He's been around, but like, okay, yeah, he's been around. But I feel like he's still kind of new in the grand scheme of things, right?
I don't think Cole is new, because he's been out the last, 10 years?
Yeah,
more than that, because when college, so what I feel is though Cole represents to me a perfect blend, kind of the, for lack of a better term, boom bap rap.
100%.
But still has that, good beats, that flavor, I guess what we would deem street rap, maybe, more midstream, mainstream. And I think that Cole is a great blend of both of those, because you're going to get some verbal, like you're going to listen to the lyrics. You're going to feet by the speaker, listening, breaking down what he's saying. But then there's some songs that you could bop around to.
Absolutely.
And so that's what I give him. I still think, though.
You just described his album, by the way.
Did I really?
100%. You described his album. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Well, see, I mean, but I think that is one of the things that makes him excel, because he's going to give the hardcore hip hop fans some real hip hop. And then, for the party goers, I'm just here for a good time, he's got a little something for them too. And I don't feel like he's one of those where you're like, let me get out my thesaurus. And not that there's anything wrong with you having an expansive vocabulary and utilizing it, but I don't think that Cole takes, not that he doesn't take himself seriously, but he doesn't, I think he's just hip hop. He just raps and it's just good. Absolutely. And he goes with whatever the vibe is at that moment for a song. It's not pretentious in his stuff. Because sometimes some of the more lyrical people, they hit you with kind of, you have to be a certain level of elevation or evolve to understand their music. And sometimes it's like, no, that stuff is just trash. But, be that as it may.
A lot of the times you would say those type of people sometimes have a message behind their music a lot of the times. And I don't know if you've listened to J. Cole's album. I think, not to say that his music doesn't have any substance, this album, doesn't have any substance, but I think people were kind of looking for that. Or, let me speak for myself. I think I was looking for substance, so to speak, which he did give, but I do think that he was just rapping, like you said. He was just rapping.
Shout out to Royal Jenkins. He said miracle lyrical rap. You get it. You understand what we're talking about, all of that.
Shout out to Keith Murray.
I mean, the most beautifulest thing in this world.
The
is
mythological,
just like
philosophical.
Y'all mythological to comical.
Oh, you know what?
I do a little bit. I can get off on the first little bit.
That's exactly like that line right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I think that Cole came about at an interesting time where, you know, we were coming out of the trap era. Most of the rap, I feel like, that dropped when he was introduced was trap area rap. And he kind of rode the beat, but was still mainstream. I know that seems like a lot of things, but that's a hard line to walk, to be able to speak to your lyrical miracle crowd, to be able to get the people to throw it on like, hey, we could throw that Cole on and turn up, you know, that kind of vibe. I think that something a lot of rappers shoot for, but not all of them can maintain.
He was the first artist on the Rock Nation, right?
Was he?
From Jay-Z, if I'm not mistaken. That's how he got, at least for me, that's how I got introduced to J. Cole. He was on the Blueprint 3. And I was like, oh, this J. Cole guy, huh?
I just, what is the song where he was talking about college? That was the whole first album, right?
Yeah,
what was the
album.
single? That, I mean, college, not my college time, but college and J. Cole stick together for me for some reason. He's 41 years old now, and I still think of J. Cole as a college student.
Wow.
That's crazy, right? But that's just what kind of his vibe, his music reminds me of. But we'll see. All right, listen, let's talk a little Gene Simmons, right? Now, if you're unfamiliar who Gene Simmons is, he is, it died. He is the lead singer, or was, I guess is, of the rock band Kiss, right? Now, we know Kiss was a very popular rock band in the 70s. The only reason why Kiss managed to take off is because they wore this outlandish stage makeup. At first, rock fans weren't feeling the Kiss sound. So it's certainly interesting that he is going to take on this point of view. When we come forward, I'll break down exactly what Gene Simmons has to say about hip hop, plus give you a little bit of Kiss history. All of that and more when we come forward.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
LADWP urges everyone to always keep safety top of mind. If you see a downed wire, don't touch it. Stay far away and call 911 immediately. Downed wires can be deadly. Whether you're at home, work, or on the road, always assume the wire is live. Together, we can keep Los Angeles safe and powered. Learn more at ladwp.com/electric safety.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, now Gene Simmons is the lead singer of KISS. He has a hot take on the idea that hip-hop artists are now being entered into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He is 75 years old, right? Now, it should be noted, I'm just going to put this out there, that KISS's first 3 albums flopped. That's just a little bit of backstory. All right, let's listen to him.
The fact that, for instance, Iron Maiden is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they can sell out stadiums, and Grandmaster Flash is.
Right.
Ice Cube and I had a back and forth, and, he's a bright guy, and I respect what he's done. It's not my music. I don't come from the ghetto. It doesn't speak my language. And I said in print many times, hip-hop does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, nor does opera, symphony orchestras. How come the New York Philharmonic doesn't get the Rock and Roll? Because it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But he shot back and said, no, it's the spirit of rock and roll. Okay, fine. So Ice Cube and Grandmaster Flash and all these guys are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just want to know when Led Zeppelin's going to be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, really?
So listen, first of all, Mr. Simmons, rock and roll was created by Black people. We know that. Sister Rosetta Thorpe and the guitar. So let's start there. So that means that your version of rock and roll, which was panned by the rock audience initially, and the makeup and all of those things that ended up taking you over the top, was initially frowned upon and said it was what? Not rock and roll. But that's a side note. That's a side note, right? You had 3 opportunities to get it right in the 70s. Another side note. But rock and roll was started by Black people, right? And your version of rock was different from what they started with. So your version of rock is like a child or a grandchild, right? So that means hip hop is also a grandchild of rock and roll, right? It is. It is. I know that doesn't make sense to you because you probably don't think of Black people as really being the catalyst of this art form, but they were. Okay? You go back, I bet you any act that the KISS frontman, I bet you any guitarist, any group, they were inspired by a James Brown or one of those legacy acts or things of that nature. Think about how the Beatles looked up to Ike and Tina Turner, James Brown, those type of people. These massive acts were getting their direction from urban acts. So while I get it, you're trying to say art forms should stick with art forms, right? The very notion and idea that hip hop isn't a child, a descendant of rock and roll by way of its first starters is crazy to me. It just doesn't make sense. Jazz and blues, which came before rock and roll, also have elements of it. They have elements of hip hop, bebop. There was spoken word in there. I just think that I get that you want to be protective of your art form, but acting like, what is the group he named? I'm blanking on it. It wasn't Metallica. It was, oh God, it's a big group. I can't remember what he said. But acting as if what is the white lines? Melly Mel, whatever. Because of them that other group didn't make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not. Talk to your voters, right? Now you're crying. I don't know. I just think that there should be some balance to it. I do understand his perspective, but I'm sure if we had a hip hop rock and roll Hall of Fame where people wanted to ignite, we just really got that started. But let's not act like there's not going to be a ton of white people in there. The Beastie Boys, Eminem, Rick Rubin.
They're doing hip hop though.
They're doing hip hop, but think about those three that I just named. The Beastie Boys, Rick Rubin, Eminem. Their tracks do sometimes have a rock tinge to them. They do. Beastie Boys definitely use guitar. Beastie Boys completely stepped off the hip-hop tour, even though they were hip-hop. And Beastie Boys were on tour with what? When they were still touring. They were on tour with white rock acts. And I bet you they wouldn't be objective to the Beastie Boys being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like they would a hardcore hip-hop act. I get it, though. He does Iron Butterfly. He said Iron Maiden. That's the group he said, right. Iron Maiden is a big heavy metal band. Metal bands aren't the same as rock and roll. Technically, they are, but it's still a genre of such. That's all I'm saying. You know, you do what you like. You do what you can. So those are my quick thoughts on that. Andy?
I can appreciate, the history lesson, one genre being influenced, by this genre. But I just got to be honest, as a youth, when I saw, certain hip hop artists go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was like,
why?
Mm-hmm. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I understand the inspiration, but I don't see, when I listen to said artists, I don't hear rock and roll. I hear hip hop. And if I agree with Gene Simmons, if there was a hip hop Hall of Fame, I don't expect to see no Kiss or whoever rock and roll artists on a hip hop Hall of Fame. I just don't. Now, if you were making rock, like I can understand what was the Aerosmith and Run DMC.
Walk this way.
I can understand maybe that song being in the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I could understand, I don't know, I know Method Man did a song with Limp Bizkit, but that was kind of more hip hop. I mean, I don't know. I just take race out of the situation. When I'm listening to said music, this sounds like hip hop. This sounds like rock and roll. I don't understand.
So you think the genre mixing is off? Like,
I do.
Right idea,
wrong
place.
I'm not knocking the acknowledgement. Kudos. You guys deserve it. Just like the Outkast. You guys deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not taking anything away from you. I just don't hear rock and roll when I listen to Outkast. I hear hip hop.
Don't work for you. Fair. All right, listen. We've said that there was going to be information about a scheme that Todd has set up. Candy Burrs, has petitioned the court to force Todd to have to pay rent and a little bit of child support while they work out the additional details of this relationship. Basically, Candy and Todd are splitting, but Todd is living in Candy's guest house. Candy has maintained that this is a piece of property that she purchased before the marital ties happened. Therefore, it is hers independently, and if Todd is staying there, Todd should be pay some rent. Now, we know Todd initially was trying to get physical custody of the kids because he said Candy worked too much, and we also figured it was a way for him to get child support, maybe a little alimony. We don't know. We have to see. But a scheme that Todd set up is still scheming. That's one thing that is not going to go away. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, well, Todd is just doing what women have done forever when it comes to relationships breaking up when their significant other is the one with the larger payday. But I still say, taking it back, men want to be the head of the household. You can't want to be the head of the household and make all those moves if you don't want to also take on the other traditional role as you're that of the provider, right? So that's where it looks kind of sketchy and schemy with Todd. We'll see how this all works out. But the one thing that has to be said over and over again whenever you talk about Todd and Kandi is that Mama Joyce, Candy's mom, was right. And we cannot forget that. Let's get into some of these comments in the YouTube chat. Let's see. Reddy's Meddy says, I think that's how you pronounce that. Sister Thorpe, first black woman in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Look her up. We already talked about that, babe. I appreciate you shouting that out, but we talked about that. Morris Phillips says, I love it all, but there is a difference, y'all. And Terry says, Jill, is Joe Walsh and Eagles hip hop? Are you talking about the Eagles football team or the Eagles, the band? But basically no to either one. But I mean, I do think that there are, and I can even say, oh my God, what just happened here? I can even say, as far as the question of, are there certain rock bands that could be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame? When I think about it, some of those samples, right? Some of the groups that were frequently sampled, would you give them a place in there? Andy says no. I think that there should be some type of acknowledgement if they created the crux of a particular sound.
Why are we over here trying to give an olive branch just for a sample? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, here's the thing. Is it true or false? And we're going to have to wrap this up. But true or false, James Brown is one of the founding forefathers of hip hop.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Look, I'm sure those who are older than me would say yes. I'm a youngster, and I'm going to go ahead and say no. When I think of James Brown, I don't think hip hop.
Not even as much as his samples were used in the early hip hop.
I understand the samples, but I don't view him as a hip hop artist.
Not an artist, but an influence.
I give you the influence, but I don't view him as a hip hop artist.
So should hip hop pay homage to?
Hip hop should play homage, but I just don't.
So does that mean that he would get a place in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame based on something like that?
It would have to be an interesting category.
The special award?
Yeah.
Special
this is
thing?
the hip hop influence category or something. I don't know.
Big ups to that. Morris Phillips says, like the average white band? Something like that, yeah, like Blue Eyed Soul, I guess. I'm just wondering. I understand a bit of Gene's concerns, but we started this. All right, you guys, that's my time. Thank you for locking in. I'll be back on Monday. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy early Valentine's Day. Don't get into any bad luck with Friday the 13th. And enjoy your All-Star weekend. I'll be back here Monday. Zoe Williams is up next.
Got to get back. I need some get back. Pay back. Pay back. That is. Pay back. Revenge. I'm mad. Get down with my girlfriend.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Gun accessory maker Mean Arms will pay $1.75 million to settle lawsuits tied to the 2022 racially motivated mass shooting in Buffalo that left 10 people